Hi! Welcome to my messy apartment. So I'm back doing another review. This time it's for Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, well, here we go. What can I say about this movie? It is wonderful. Honestly, it truly is wonderful. I went in with a little bit low expectations. Not too low because, I mean, the first one was enjoyable. And with every other Marvel movie, they have been really good. But I did go in with a lower expectation just because with the first film, it never really interested me the first time. And when I watched it, I was okay with it. I still didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was one of my least favorite, I think, in the entire cinematic universe. Paul Rudd is funny. He's known to be funny. Evangeline Lilly is known to be Evangeline Lilly. She's kind of just there. Now that being said, though, Evangeline Lilly in this movie was phenomenal. And I think it was because she was basically the main focus of the movie rather than Paul Rudd's character, and she was kick-ass. I'm sorry, she was. She was definitely the highlight of this film. This one definitely exceeded all of my expectations for it. It was a great follow-up. It delves into more of a scientific realm in this one, I found, and the action sequences were really executed like geniusly. Marvel outdid themselves, I think, with this one. Not perfectly, mind you. There were some flaws still with this movie that I don't like, but it was a very good sequel. And yeah, so Paul Rudd obviously returns as Scott Lang / Ant-Man. You have Evangeline Lilly who comes back as Hope Van Dyne / the Wasp. You have Hank Pym who comes back. Michelle Pfeiffer's in it. Not a spoiler. Basically, Ant-Man and the Wasp team up to fight this ghost person. And no one really knows who she is, what she's after. But, I mean, obviously you find out in the film. The cinematography is good. There's parts where, especially if you're in IMAX 3D, which we went to go and see, Ryan and I, there's going to be parts in this movie that may potentially give you a headache or just like really play with your vision, because there's things and the visuals that they use for it really kind of mess with your head in this one scene. It like really puts you into the movie, which I kind of enjoy, but at the same time I was like, maybe like reel it back a little bit. Not too much, because obviously you still want to be a part of the cinematic experience, but reel it back a little bit, make it more enjoyable. There's most of the humor that was in this was very real. It didn't seem forced, but there were some of the things that were forced for sure, as every movie tends to do with comedy. So you have to execute the comedy and the jokes a little better, I think. But for the most part, it was very well done. There was actually quite a bit of things from the trailer that were not actually in the movie at all. And some of those things are as follows.
You gave her wings and blasters.
Because we robbed you. Do you remember? That's us.
She seems more intense. You go low, I'll go high.
I have wings. Why would I go low?
I don't want to die. We didn't die.
Hey, what'd I miss?
We were just tiny.
So yeah, literally none of those were in the actual movie at all. Maybe the scenes kind of were, but the words that these people were saying, not at all. But I mean, most of everything that you see in the trailer is in the movie. Everything that happens in the movie, It serves a purpose. The storyline is good. The side storylines make sense. There's one thing with, because Scott Lang is like on house arrest and he can't leave, but then he has to leave to help save everybody. And they explain why he's on house arrest and everything, so that. But the people who keep coming in to check on him, I found checked on him too many times. Like, I don't think in a real situation they would check on him this many times as many times as they did in this movie. I found that was a little over the top, and how they came to check up on him was kind of over the top as well. The relationship that went on between Scott and his daughter Cassie grew so much from the first one, to the point where it was very, like, super loving, super caring, but then also had a comedic aspect to it as well, which it was more it was less father-daughter and more like buddy-buddy. And that's what I enjoyed as well with this. Also, keep in mind, there are two scenes after the movie, one mid-credit and one post-credit. Post-credit, not really anything special. At the very, I'm not going to say what it is. If you want to stay, you can stay, and I'll just let you experience it. All I'm going to say is, one of the people in the audience, after the scene at the very end ended, all he heard was, "What?" And that was it. Everyone in the theater laughed at that guy. But the mid-credit scene is a good long scene, actually. Might be one of the longest, if not the longest, mid-credit scene that Marvel has had. I don't know. But it does serve a huge purpose, and it ties in well with Infinity War, and you will leave both happy and angry at the same time with how well it ties in. And that's all I'm going to say. Without further ado, my rating for Ant-Man and the Wasp is an A-. They have some work that they still need to do. I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing a third. So they've got to step up that game a little bit more just to get that A or A+. But definitely in the A's for sure with this one. I would say the first Ant-Man would be like a B+. This one's definitely an A-. They need to try and strive for that A+ area. That little gray tone of the A and A+. They're almost there. Not quite yet, though. So, if you enjoyed this non-spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp, please make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell in the corner. Make sure you leave some comments down below. And, yeah. Subscribe to all of my social media where I will check you out. And if I like your stuff, I may follow you if you're lucky. And I'm going to try and start posting so much more regularly on everything. I usually use my Snapchat a lot more. So if you want to stay up to date with that, please follow me on my Snapchat. But other than that, I will try and post more on my Instagram because I need to. So I will see all of you next week with another video, and I will see you then. Bye.
My life is a party.